Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is our pro gamer Mike.
What song is that?
It might be an Odyssey. It's Jump Superstar.
Oh, totally. Totally, I remember that.
Jump Superstar Jump.
Not that Unoclay would know. He hasn't even bought the game yet after
Yeah,
like
that
a year.
song's amazing, by the way. It's way better than Garbage of Light songs, by the way.
And speaking of, our retro aficionado Unoclay.
I'm jumping the gun with my Scorpion references because we all know he's coming to Smash eventually, right? Am I right? Sorry.
How dare you?
How you doing?
All right.
Sweet.
So we'll start off this week with our Game of All Time tournament.
By now you know the drill, but if you're some newbie just joining the show, at the start of the year, the four hosts of Just Another Castle each named our 8 favorite games of all time. Then, every week, 2 games go head-to-head, and the winner advances to the next round. In the end, 31 games will fall, and 1 game will rise above the rest to become Just Another Castle's official favorite game of all time. If you want to see the current brackets, head over to www.challenge.com/justanothercastle. That's challenge with an O. Also, sometimes our votes result in a tie, and you listeners can help settle the match. If you want to be part of the fun, follow Just Another Castle or the Mango Viking on Twitter, and you might get tagged to throw a tie-breaking vote. Leave luck to the heavens, and leave the pasta casserole to Matt's sister.
Oh, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Last week's winner was Super Mario World, which beat out Breath of the Wild 2-1. And this week we're now in our semifinals. It is Wind Waker versus Pokemon FireRed. So, weird matchup. It's a Zelda adventure game versus a Pokemon RPG. 2 very different styles. Does anyone have a preference on who wants to go first?
I mean, I'm decided way on this one.
Yeah, come on. We already know what Clay's picking.
Yeah,
so
right.
we should just let Clay go.
Yeah, I'll give a 10-second review so we can get to the meat of the episode,
Cool.
the tofu episode for us vegetarians. Yeah, the easy answer here is Pokemon has amazing music, but that's not enough to carry it. I've never played it, so it's not really a fair vote. I maybe someday I will try one of those OG Game Boy Pokemon because music is great and they're cool games from what you guys say, but I've never played it. Wind Waker is legendary. It's one of the best Zeldas, easily top 5 for me, and it's Wind Waker for me all the way. Easy. Don't need to say much more than that. But I really do like the music in the Pokemon Game Boy games, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, a Pokemon FireRed is Game Boy, right?
Yeah, it was a remake
Well,
of the
yeah.
original.
I mean, when I'm voting for Pokemon Red, usually I just count it as Pokemon Red. Now, Fire Red's the remake of Red, but you know.
What system was FireRed for? Just to clarify.
It was Game Boy
GBA.
Advance, but it was a remake of the original, so it's basically the same. It just looks better. And I think the music was a different sound font
Yeah,
or something,
Clay,
but it
if
was
you're
the
gonna
same
play
music.
a Pokemon game, you play Heart Gold, Soul Silver. That's the game.
Well, I'll check in with you guys someday if I ever get that bored that I'm I want to play an RPG with pocket monsters. But no, that's interesting. Is that I guess that would be our only Game Boy Advance game that was in the tournament here. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's interesting because I know you guys are the exact right age group for GBA. For GBA to be kind of big or whatever, with you guys, and I missed GBA was not big for me, so it's
We did
so
put
Wind
on
Waker
Henry Hatsworth, which was a DS game.
DS game, yeah, totally. So we did have a couple non-consoles.
Yeah, we have a couple handhelds. I put on Theater Rhythm. There's some other games here.
Yeah,
I don't think any of mine were handhelds. I
Cave
had one
Story
arcade
is
game, though.
whatever you want it to
Cave
be.
Story
It was a PC game, and then it came on
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's been on multiple Nintendo consoles at this point, so it's kind of everything, but it's PC originally, totally. But yeah, so anyway, Wind Waker all the way for me. So that's my vote, and we can move on to whoever else wants to vote.
Cool. Mike, do you have a horse in this race you want to vote for?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Pokemon Red. I mean, I grew up with it, but I always thought Yellow was the better version. And then when I replayed Pokemon, Heart Gold, Soul Silver was the kind of the jam. I don't think Pokemon's aged well. Wind Waker HD actually made me like Wind Waker more. Wind Waker was actually like used to be like my third or fourth favorite Zelda. Used to be like my like legitimately my number 4. Like it used to be behind Ocarina 1, then it was Minish Cap, and then like a stuck between like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. Used to have like a fight with each other. But after I played Wind Waker HD versus TP HD, it's like it just really made me like Wind Waker a lot more. Just a better game and the age better. So you can still play it now. Also, great sea theme is amazing.
It is. That it is. All right, I guess I'll go. Honestly, I don't know. Crap. This sucks. I like both of them. I don't know if I should compare them as is or compare them to their franchises. Because it's weird if I compare them to their franchises. I don't think either are my favorite of their franchises. Oh man.
I think like I mean for me like considering the franchise is valuable, and I know you're a huge fan of both these franchises, so it's not really going to help you make your decision in the end. I personally would think you should vote on the games themselves. You know, like I mean, rather than the franchises, like or how they impact the franchises. But I don't know. You know, last week I kind of even went against that and said I was voting for Breath of the Wild because of what it did for the franchise. So maybe I'm talking out my ass here.
So maybe you're just a big fat hypocrite and you'll do whatever you want that serves you.
So go for it. Hypocrite it up, bro.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's what I was saying. Even if I went by the franchises, neither are my favorite of the franchises, or what I would think is like the better ones. So I'd be at a draw there too. Oh man. I think I'll go off of what I would theoretically replay, as in like what I would be interested in replaying, but realistically I probably wouldn't anyway. I'd probably choose Wind Waker then. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased against 2D art, even though 2D art is good. I think I would just rather replay some of the more current Pokemon games instead, just because they like look nicer and like everything's so well animated, and I don't think it's like that much of a difference, like gameplay wise, that it would like matter if you you gotta play FireRed over any of the other ones. I think they're pretty much comparable to each other, except for maybe like HMs or those kind of weird things but that you can, that's not too much of a nuisance that it would like really draw you to one over the other.
Right. So you're leaning.
I think I'm gonna go with Wind Waker HD. Technically I did buy it and replay it, even though I had a GameCube and Wind Waker. And well, when Pokemon Fire Red came out, I didn't have a Game Boy Advance, but I don't know if I would have replayed it.
Right.
Or let's say replay it today.
Right.
I would.
And technically, I'm not sure that the game. Just to clarify, the game in our tournament is not technically Wind Waker HD. We didn't specify, or did we?
Let me check. I don't know. No, it just says Wind Waker.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think it was specified. It's irrelevant. I mean, it's not like
the only difference really is the sales. I was just bringing it up because I'm looking at like long plays of both of them.
Sure. I was bringing it up to make sure it didn't just change your vote almost. Like, that it's like we didn't define it. So I think we'd have to assume it was the GameCube version. Like, but yeah, they're really close anyway. So
I guess I'll put it, this is the last part. So when they were saying, there's going to be a Pokemon game this year, and we weren't sure, and I heard it was Kanto, before we found out it's like a Let's Go version, which is like basically an easier version of the game, I wasn't really interested because I've seen those Pokemon too much, and honestly, I'd rather just move on to either even another remake or something else. So by going off of like what I would replay, I still wouldn't even buy that, even though I bought Wind Waker. So I guess that says something about that. I know it's not really descriptive on the games, but I don't know. I think there's just something about Wind Waker that I would rather replay.
Right.
Even though I like numbers and all those monsters and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's probably the
I
adventure
think
aspect.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, because I mean, to me, it's really hard to imagine replaying an RPG, especially a really rudimentary RPG. Like, I mean, I'm just wrong probably on that, but to me, that's like a reasonable way to look at it. Because Wind Waker is great to replay, whereas like an RPG is kind of linear. I guess they're both linear, but
Yeah. I think
buy it.
the difference is that there's probably more variety in Wind Waker versus, let's say, Pokemon.
Right.
As far as like RPGs are concerned, I've played like Paper Mario a couple of times, the first and second one. So, I mean, even though they're linear, they're still like RPGs, but they're also like kind of adventure games. Whereas Pokemon, not so much.
Right.
Like if you pick up one, you can like it doesn't really matter which one you pick up; they're all identical.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point, so I'll
Yeah.
I'll just say I'm voting for Wind Waker HD, so he can move on.
The vote is closed unless Eli shows up this moment, and I bet I know. Well, I don't
Well, he
know.
would vote. Well, he's good either way.
Yeah,
This is both of his games. Again,
yeah.
I don't know how this nonsense has worked. He isn't here, and his games go through anyway.
Yeah.
I guess he just chooses great games.
Yeah, our special guest Eli is not here this. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Wind Waker takes it. What did Mike vote?
Mike voted for Pokemon.
He did go Pokemon in the end. Okay,
Yeah, that's why I was
trouble here.
taking forever because I had to like break the tie.
Wait, no, I voted Wind Waker.
Oh, you
I
did?
thought you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you sound like you were going for Pokemon.
Yeah.
No, I said the only Pokemon that would get my vote would be Heart Gold.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was a little hard to hear you. I apologize. But I thought that's why I was asking because I was like, I think he went Wind Waker, but I was getting distracted. So, gotcha. Yeah, 3-0 Wind Waker. Jeez, bang, there it goes. All right.
Dang it! This game better not win this tournament again. Eli's gonna have Wind Waker win 2 tournaments that he was a part of.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this is like
link the
sabotage.
bracket. I see this bracket again. All right, let me see it so I can complain like usual. Somebody link it right now. I'm ready to complain. The juices are flowing.
What if I just
Oh man!
date it?
All right, so
it's like fourth commenter on the podcast this week. All right. Let's
so we'll
move
move on
on.
to what we've been playing. We've all,
Been playing.
no secret, have all been playing Katamari Damacy. Yeah, no, we've all been playing Smash. We'll just all talk about it rather than one at a time because it doesn't make sense to. And also because I didn't get my copy until today, which I didn't get to play. So there's that. I did play it at, I did get invited to 2 different friends' houses for Smash parties. So that was kind of funny. So I played like multiplayer over there, but yeah. I guess the one thing I'll say, and then I guess open up to everyone, is I don't think multiplayer, like locally, is all that great compared to at least Smash 4 or some of the other ones. Because even like 8-player was always too much, and you're never going to know what the heck you're doing. And I guess that's the appeal of it. Whatever, that's fine. But even like 4-player, I think it's too much. The camera, I think, is zoomed out like way too far. And it also tries to follow everyone, I think, a little too much, which is not great. And yeah, like the smoke trails and like when you smash someone, they instantly like go to the, I don't know, apex of that, I don't know whatever you call it. Whenever you get smashed, rather than wait a second or two for them to get to that final point, it just like teleports them there pretty much. And I think that makes it harder to keep track of your character, even with the smoke trails, because they just move too quickly, and the smoke trails just like block the screen for other people. So I don't think it really like compensates it well. I guess it's there for more competitive play to like save time, so you don't have to wait for that. But that doesn't even matter because they increase the bounding boxes. So I mean, they kind of just negated their own thing, or at least I feel like that is. But I don't know. I don't think multiplayer is that great anymore because it's like I'm playing 4 people, and on like an okay sized map, and I can still like lose track of my characters. This is a bit dumb.
Wow, right at the gate, some harsh. You're
That's
harshing on it.
my only like.
I gotta
real thing
agree
to
though.
add.
I mean, it's pretty hard to like keep track of yourself more in this game.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of people
like
have been saying
doubles
that.
or 4 people. Like usually, usually like 2v2 doubles a lot,
Mhm.
but like I think last game did 4 players on the screen a little bit cleaner. This game, yeah, there is a lot of like it's easy to lose yourself in more than 2 people, in more than 1v1. I totally agree with that. So
I probably haven't played enough multiplayer to have that experience because the only multiplayer I've played is one-on-one, and so losing track of oneself hasn't been a problem. Other than the fact that I can agree with what you're saying, because my friend that I played with, both cases they both wanted to play. They're not total schlubs or anything like that, but they wanted to play items on because it's brand new and everyone just like wants to see all the new items and everything like that. And the chaos level of the items, even on low, was definitely causing me maybe what you guys are saying, like the ADHD, like lose track of what everything's going on. But that's kind of a Smash thing. It's not as much as what you guys are describing graphically. I kind of know what you mean. Like when you're getting launched, you have to almost be good at Smash already to know which way you're going to fly and be DIing in like the opposite direction, like because you lose track of, like, it's so fast, like you're saying, I guess, if I'm understanding correctly. But I kind of know what you mean, but I haven't played with more than one person at a time yet, so I can't. Yeah, it's also a little bit hard for me to like totally know if I would say the same thing as what you guys are saying or not.
Yeah.
But I trust you, so.
And I'm not sure if
I'm not sure if it,
I heard echoing for a second. I'm not sure if it also is due to the fact of the lighting engine. Like if you look at Smash 4, character, like the saturation on their colors pop out a lot more. I don't really know how else to describe it versus like Smash Ultimate is more realistic
Darker.
lighting and like realistic shadows and whatnot. So sure, it looks more realistic, but at the same time, that also lends like characters to blend in with things a lot more. It's not as bad as I originally thought when I played it like E3 or whatever, but I think that still like attributes to it. Because like here, it's like if there's a shadow, like everything is pretty much distinct on screen, whereas like realistic shadows and like fade-ins and all this stuff kind of blend in together. So yeah, and especially like the lighting can make characters look have like soft colors on one stage and then pop out a lot more on another, so it's not really consistent, which I get because I don't know, it makes sense for the stages, but I also think it doesn't make sense like mechanically. Like sure, that seems appropriate, but does it really work or benefit the game?
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
Like the Castlevania stage. I only played it once, so maybe I wasn't close enough or whatever, but it's a pretty dark stage, like lighting wise. It's like I get it, it's at night, but can I like also see my character? And it's not even that big of a stage either. Like I don't think I really lost track of them, but it's still like this could be brighter, and the stage is pretty small.
I think it's important for our listeners to define, were you playing big screen HD or were you playing handheld?
No, I was playing on the TV with 3 other people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, because like I could hear someone thinking, yeah, but you might have been playing handheld. No wonder you couldn't see what's going on, because I haven't even tried the game handheld because of knowing this game. I've talked about it on previous shows, but I never play the AAA titles pretty much ever. On the handheld version. That's only for like indie stuff for me. I mean, everyone's got to pick their way of play with Switch, which is great, and I totally respect if you want to, but I just think like a game with that level of graphics and stuff like that, I just have no interest in like seeing the shrunk down like mini version of it. It's like it's just not it for me. So I was just wondering if like you were trying that and thinking, oh wow, does it even work? Like playing a handheld? Like that's crazy,
I played in handheld, but I played like World of Light in handheld. I mean, it seemed fine, but like, I'm not playing with friends and I'm playing freaking handheld mode. I'm playing like classic mode, or I'm just doing like Central Smash.
I think
nothing crazy.
This might sound weird. I think it might be easier. Like I haven't played it on handheld, but I have a feeling it might be easier to keep track of your characters on handheld, simply because the screen is smaller, so you can see like the whole view of the screen easier. Versus a TV, you're further away, and then the camera itself is zoomed out.
I'm going to give you a big on that theory, Matt. I don't know, but
Well, think you have like
that.
the 7-inch screen, like your eyes don't have to move. Like you don't even use your peripheral vision all that much when it's that close to your face. Versus a TV, it's like 10 feet away at least.
I'm going to give you the big on that. For me, it probably wouldn't be true, but I hear you.
It depends on the stage. If you're playing Palutena's Temple, you're screwed even on a big TV, and you're going to be screwed on a handheld. But I just mean for like normal stages.
Yeah.
I could see that being the case. I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't tried it. I shouldn't even talk about it. And Mike says he's like playing. I mean, Mike's really good at the game, so that also, like, I'd put a caveat on that. I'd be like, Mike's incredibly good at Smash, so for me, seeing the detail of the animations helps a lot too. And hitboxes, I don't have like innate knowledge of them, so being able to see the characters at like a larger size definitely would help me. I know just in my brain, like that would be a personal thing. It wouldn't necessarily be true for everyone like that, because what you're saying, Matt, might be very true. Because I played Gungeon, one of the hardest games I ever played in my life. I had to work it in somehow, like on the tiny screen, but that it doesn't. The difference that pops out of my mind to that is that because Gungeon is a bullet hell shooter, bullet hell like twin stick, and the bullets glow, and so you don't need to see detail to play. You need to be able to like see your character and see the bullets coming at you, and all the bullets glow very brightly. So I thought about it before in respect to this conversation. I'm like, I can play this because it doesn't matter. Almost everything else on the screen on average, that's not quite true, but on average doesn't matter. You just need to be dodging bullets, and so it works. Whereas Smash, I'm like, I don't know, I just feel like the character animations add something to the way I play, like seeing what your body language of the other characters is and stuff, you know, as they're attacking you or getting their moves ready, or where's that bomb at, you know, that Link just threw or whatever, that kind of thing, you know, like little objects flying around the screen, like Isabel's fishing line, like you can barely see that on the screen, on big screen, you know what I mean, like it's almost invisible, you know. So but anyway, it's a thought. I'll have to try it. I'll have to give it a whirl, give it the handheld a whirl, and see if it works.
Matt, any characters you didn't know you like, but you found that you did like now, like after the game? Like for me, it's Incineroar, dude. I think he's like, the best addition. Like,
I definitely say Incineroar. I don't know if he's the best personally, but I definitely like. I didn't want him. I wanted another Pokemon. If we were going to get another Pokemon, that was fine if we didn't. So I was like, oh, well, great, Incineroar, all right, whatever. But he's actually pretty fun. To me, he kind of feels like Captain Falcon, even though I don't really play Captain Falcon. Like, even though I don't really care for Captain Falcon. I don't know. There's something about him feels like that. I guess it's because he's speedy. And, like, does kicks and things.
At this point, I need to, like, loll at you guys, like, because, like, I'm like, so wait, you guys have Incineroar already unlocked? Because I have like 4 characters, like, because like
you have
like,
less
I'm
than
refused...
the start.
Yeah,
they took away your
4 characters, bro. This is
I have like 4 new. I have like 4 new characters like unlocked, like other than the original, because I'm refusing to like unlock people because I just think it drops characters too fast. So I'm just like refusing to engage with it. I'm just like losing matches.
It takes forever. Don't worry about it.
It's too fast.
You can always
it's like
fight them again anyway.
It's annoying. Like I can't stand it. Like new challenger approaching is like every 10 seconds. Like I'm like,
good. I mean, there's a lot of challengers approaching. All right, like. Then you're gonna regret it in like 3 days. You're gonna be like, "Damn, bro, I wish I was playing as King K. Rool right now." All right, or Incineroar. Meanwhile, you're stuck here with playing like, you know, freaking, I don't know, Jimmy. All right?
I'm telling you, it's different strokes. I just can't believe people want everything unlocked. Like I'm like, this game doesn't have anything to do other than like fight.
I think
like,
some of those people are just because they want
stuff, dude.
Yeah. I think some of the people want it unlocked faster because they want to have like parties and like play the new characters. Sure. It's like, oh great, I don't know how to unlock these new characters and I want to play them now.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been seeing on like Twitter. But I think it's kind of like, cool the way it's set up, because we were playing at a friend's house at one of the parties, and we were just playing like 4 to 8 players, and every like 10 minutes or so there's a new character. And it's like, ooh, you might have won this match, but can you beat the character? And it's like half the time the person can't. including myself.
Are you joking?
So
Like we were at my friend's house the other night, and he's not even good at Smash, and he was like beating every character that showed up 10% damage or less on his character. Like it's so easy. Like it's like ridiculous. Like,
it depends on the character.
One character got me actually.
got you, Mike.
Yeah, when I got he freaking did a nice combo. He did double down air and like he get me off stage with there, and I was like, damn man. I was like, why just. Yeah, dude, and I was like, wow, I finally lost him because I was like, I'm upset that people were losing to these challenger erosions, but the viewers got good, man.
Confess it. Which character got you?
Meta Knight got me.
Meta Knight.
Yeah, dude. He freaking, I know exactly what he did too. I was Falcon, and he freaking down there, and like, he just kept daring on stage. I was like, wow, it's like he true like brawl comboed me. It was pretty awesome.
I mean, that's news to me because like I sat there, it was like annoying almost. Like I sat there and like watched my friend. Like I repeat, he doesn't even use block when he plays. I repeat, he openly admits he does not use block. He just fights. He's new to Smash relatively as of like Smash 4. He's a great video gamer, but like it's not a game he's ever played before. And I watched him unlock like while we're playing. Like literally, we play like 45 minutes, and like 4 or 5 characters pop up to unlock, and every single one, I think one of them took him to 40% damage, and every single other one he put out. One of them he put out at 0%. I think he put out Inkling at 0%. He didn't take a single hit or something, and it was just like. Are you kidding?
Jumped off the stage for me, but every competition can be different. I was like, oh, thanks. Like she just upbeat and died, and I was like, all right, cool. You know,
It's weird. It's varied because some of them it's like, oh man, this one like totally beat the crap out of this person, and another one like Daisy is like not even attacking, just like roaming around and doing nothing.
That's what most of them were doing.
Really,
it's
weird.
Doing
I've
nothing.
seen both.
Huh? Yeah.
It's like I think it was like at one point someone was fighting Ganondorf and kicked their ass, and the other point he like wasn't really fighting. So I wonder if they just like randomize the difficulty sort of just to be like, I don't know, keep you guessing maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. You know what would keep me guessing? If they didn't show up every 3 seconds. Like then I'd be oh man, like I wonder when I'm gonna get a new character, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
They take forever, man.
Dude, I am telling you, every time I turn the system on, another one shows up. Like, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I don't know if we're doing something different, but like, I had 2 show up in a row one time. Like, just literally back to back. Like, 2 challengers approaching, like, showed up, woo, woo, woo. And I finished one, and another one shows up. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And I just lost the second match on purpose because I was like, I don't want to unlock every character the first day. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
I don't know if you know this, but
Clay, my brother says that it's got a 10-minute reset timer after the first 5, so it's gonna take a while.
Okay. Well,
so
10 minutes.
Here's a tip, Unoclay, if you don't want to unlock them at the rate they're giving you. What you can do is lose to them, and then after that, if you lose once, you can go to Games and More. And then there'll be a glowing set of doors on the bottom right. And if you click that, then you can fight challengers that you lost to. And then if you lose again, you'll have to wait for them to show up. But it basically gives you a second chance. And
go away for like a month. Is there a way to like tell them not to come back for a month?
I think you would just have to.
You're not gonna get them in one day, man. I'm telling you.
I think you would just have to like lose all of the battles on purpose, and then when you want to unlock them, go to that mode.
That's cool. That's
and
cool
then
tip.
them.
Then I'm happy with that. Then I could go get them if I want them or something like that. But stay out of this match until I want you here.
Yeah.
Like, interesting.
Because
I
didn't even know that was a thing until someone brought it up at the party. I'm like, oh, that's actually smart. So you don't have to like wait forever if you want to lock them. Yeah.
Games and More, huh? All right, that's cool.
We should probably wrap this up soon and get to news, but. What do you guys think of the game so far? I haven't played the single player yet, but
single player is long, man.
I've heard.
It's like I don't know. Like I have some fun with it, and then I get bored of it, and then I'm like, like I don't know. Subspace kind of kept you in it. In this mode, it's more of like it's like a giant mission mode meets a board game. You know, like so it's like sometimes it's chill, and other times it's like. Man, this is really tedious. Like I picked hard mode because I got patched in the day I got the game. And I was like, I'll do it then. I recommend nobody ever do it because it's stupid and a waste
I'm
of time.
playing on hard mode. I'm playing on hard mode. It's like almost too easy. Honest to God.
Dude,
Like, I'm
it's
playing-
such a waste of time. It's so tedious. Like, they fight like characters are like, oh, they're double assist trophy, and then you can't jump, and I'm like, this is fun. It's a very fun game. Like, it just turns into a rock paper scissors. So,
I mean,
but
I think
I do like it. I think it's pretty cool, but I just think it's too tedious.
that's weird because I can tell it's long, but that's all I've really done of the game besides a couple matches. I haven't played like anything except a few matches against my friends when we got together the other night, which we didn't have a lot of time. And then I've played mostly Spirits, and I put it on hard too. And I don't think I mean, like, I'll lose matches because I'm not very good at Smash. But if I only lose 3 times and then win, then it's too easy even on hard. I mean, because it should be kicking my ass harder than that. Is what I
don't
thought.
think that's what they meant to be hard. I think it's just supposed to be like the spirit power levels. Like, I don't really know exactly because obviously it's not like I played it normal versus that. It's just the spirit power levels will be really high sometimes. So, like,
I'm not even joking. I don't even attach spirits. Like, it keeps warning me. It's like, don't you want like to attach a spirit or something? And I'm like, no. Like, I don't want to make my character stronger. Like that, because like that feels like you're handicapping yourself. Then when you play real Smash, you're gonna expect it to be all easy. Because
Clay, you'll be crying in 3 days when you actually fight a real spirit. You'll be like, damn, man, why does this metal 200 HP stamina guy have and I have 20 health? That's what happens. It's
That's
very
what I'm
boring.
See, like, because I just want to get better at the game. I don't want it to be easy. That's the thing. Like, I'm definitely like, the whole thing feels
But you
way
have
too
online
easy.
for that.
Yeah, but I'm not good enough for that. That's why I gotta get better offline. I gotta practice.
Yeah, but they have the Elite Smash. So they have regular Smash online and then Elite Smash. Like, you have to win enough to get to Elite Smash, but if you're not good enough, you'll never get it.
Regular. I'm not even good enough at regular. That's the problem.
No.
Like, I'm like,
you gotta believe.
I'm generally, that's the thing. That's what, like, my irritation with the game almost is I'm generally terrible at Smash. And like, I feel like the game is too easy, even with it set on hard for me. Like, I'm like, this is so fucking easy. Like, every character drops and I beat them, and it's like, no. I'm almost like frustrated in a way with it if it's not coming through clearly. Like, I'm like, I like the game, but I don't know. Like, I wish. I just wish that the characters, it wasn't like this, like, just dumb. I mean, we already know the characters are in the game. So, like, for me, it's like, what's the fun? Like, it's just a grind, like, to unlock all the characters. I wish it was actually like that you had to work to get the characters to unlock. Because otherwise, I kind of have this feeling of, like, what am I really doing here? You know?
There's a lot of characters. It's not like it's Melee, man. Like, in Melee, you gotta work to get them. In this game, like, there's too many to do that.
But it's just like a grind, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm just grinding to, like, get characters. Like, whereas, like, there's no surprises because they had to tell us everybody that was in the game before it launched. And so, like, for me, it's like not that fun if it's not super hard, because I'm like, well, what am I really doing here? I'm just basically grinding to unlock characters. Like, and yeah, I'm torn.
I mean, normally they aren't really hard fights to begin with.
Right.
So, like, even in other Smash games, when you only have to unlock like 10 of them.
Right.
So I don't think there's much of a difference. I think the problem is, like Mike said, there's just too many. And if it was above a certain threshold, even if it's not like exceedingly difficult, if it's like too much over average, then it would be annoying because you have to unlock like literally 60 plus characters. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why you unlock them so quickly, and they try to make them like not exceedingly difficult in most cases.
Yeah, because I think they're worried about people crying about it, like that people will be like, oh, I don't have all the characters and it's like the third day or whatever, that kind of thing, which I have no truck with that. I like that, I just differ on that idea. Like, I'm just like,
yeah, but I mean, I think the difference is that we're playing it differently than most people will play it. Like, we're playing it as far as we want to play it as a single person, whereas I think most people play it for multiplayer and like have all their friends over, so they want to play with all the characters. And I think that's why unlocking them fairly quickly is better, because like I was playing at the party, it's kind of exciting when we're all playing and there's a new character and this random person has to beat it because they won the match, and it goes like back and forth between people.
Sure. Yeah, I hear you. It's different strokes. I know I'm on the outside on this one. I know most of people wish like the whole game was just unlocked when they get it, or want it the way it is, like real fast and easy. I'm just like, I think I struggle. I think it's really teaching me self. Like for me, it's teaching me a lot about myself because it hits me every time. Like I think Smash is kind of boring as anything other than just like playing against a friend, and so I'm struggling just to be interested in it in this part of it where I'm just unlocking stuff because I'm like, eh. And then at the same time, I'm also annoyed when I'm playing with my friend and there's drops every 10 minutes. Like that just seems cheesy to me or something. It just should be rarer. Cause like, I know this is like rose colored glasses, as they say, but my first Smash was Brawl. And when I played Brawl, I had the luxury of not knowing who was all in the game. I wasn't following on the internet. I just picked up the game randomly after it had been out a while because I'd never played one of the Smash Brothers. And I was just like, whatever, I'll try this out. Everyone's talking about it. And so I'm playing it. And I can still remember like the feeling of having characters appear that I didn't know were in the game and stuff like that. For real, I had that experience on Brawl, and it was like great. And I think that I miss that, and I know that that's almost an impossible thing to wish for anymore because I'm just like, well, now it's kind of boring because I'm like, well, I already know everyone that's in the game, and now it's either just a grind and it's easy. I said it. I've said enough about it. I've repeated myself now, so it's just like I'm struggling with it, and I like it, and it looks beautiful, and I'm looking forward to playing it with friends for like years to come as a multiplayer experience. But I guess it's like a fighting game like this. I'm like, I don't know. I need something more to make me excited to play it. Cause like right now I literally am looking forward in quotes to playing tonight, but all I'm going to do is sit down and like grind and try to get better with like the 3 characters I want to focus on for now. And like, you know, purposely avoid getting all these endless drops. Like, cause I'm just like, well, no, I want to save something for later. Like, what am I looking forward to? You know, if I unlock it all in like a week or whatever, you know, like then I'll be bored of it in a week. I'll be like, well, cool, you know, whatever, Smash, you know.
Yeah. I think that probably plays to the greater extent of most of the content. I don't know. There's not really like the spirits are collectibles, but I don't, obviously I haven't played it yet. But they kind of don't really feel like they're that great. Like I get that they have gameplay mechanics and inherently makes them more useful. But I don't think they're like all that exciting. Yeah. I don't think that'll really change much. To be fair, I didn't look at all the 700 plus trophies on like the 3DS or the Wii U.
Right.
I would be fine if they just limited that to like, here's 200 and we chose them and made them like, chose like specific ones and made them special or whatever. I at least like the alternate trophies in All-Star mode, which I kind of missed. But I'd be fine if they did something smaller like that. But
sure.
And just the fact that like they're like, oh, we have spirit mode and World of Light and an adventure mode, but they're basically the same thing. You just don't have a map in one.
Right.
So they're not really 2 different modes. It's just like split up for whatever reason. So and there's like no home run contest or break the targets or anything like that. So
maybe that'll be DLC. You never know. Like that might be like a later thing.
To be honest,
you know, but yeah, the spirits thing really confuses me because like I don't really get it. Like Mike or Matt, I welcome your opinion on this. Like, because like I'm playing that mode. That's what I'm mainly doing. Like I said, I'm just playing that because I'm just sitting here by myself, waiting for my friends to have time off, or we can all get together, you know, to play it like extensively more than a few minutes or whatever. Oh, we should talk about the online experience too. Like, because I want to hear you guys. I want to ask you guys about that. But like,
okay, go on.
Yeah. No. But I was gonna say, like, the spirits. I'm like, so they're just like handicaps almost, right? Like, but you can't use them in real Smash. I think we went over this before, but they really confuse me. I'm like, what's the point of this? This is like making
it's like
you
custom
easy.
It's like custom moves in Smash 4. You can turn them on if you want, but like most people,
real
really
Smash.
aren't. Yeah.
Weird. And then like you sit there and battle your friends with like all these like amped up characters, like with all that like weird stuff attached to them.
It's the same as equipment in Smash 4.
Yeah, I barely used that stuff. Like I hated it kind of.
Exactly.
Like I was like, it just feels confusing. You're just like, yeah,
it's just too much.
But I mean, it's too much. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't mean to come off so negative. I apologize. I've just been like feeling a little frustrated with it in that way, like that I'm alone on this, and I know the game's never going to go back and change and be like more like what I was looking for. In like, I just like rarity and surprises. And I
Yeah.
feel like there's nothing to that. Like, it's just like I just know everything in the game already. So it's like now I just sit here and play, getting things to happen that I already know. And I'm like, ooh, goody, Inkling. Well, I knew you were in here. I would have been so pumped because when they dropped Inkling, I was pumped. But then I had that experience like 5 months ago when they showed him on the internet.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, yeah, Inkling. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, no, I get it. It would be nice if there were a few surprises, but
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately,
'Cause even the
because there's
DLC
so many
character-
leaks, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna show it off before because you're gonna leak it anyway. And
Right.
because they even if there weren't leaks, they probably would have showed everything off anyway because
Yeah.
Nintendo's done that with
Take this.
marketing. Like, I think it was Mario Kart 8 or some other game on the Wii U where they literally showed like all of the content. It's like, oh, there's no surprise left. You literally just like did it all. All right then. So
Yeah.
I think they would because characters are just they drive the internet so mad that if they left
Yeah.
any that it would be like, why aren't
Yeah.
you doing this? Like, oh, like Pokemon, I think it was Sun and Moon showed off a couple of Pokemon like every few weeks, and they basically showed off all of them except for like maybe 10
Yeah.
or like a handful.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're just gonna spoil it anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way around that. I agree
No.
with that. Like that is the problem. Like that is the problem. They it's sales driven. It's like appeal driven, and they're doing it right. They're like if I was their business director, I would probably say they're doing it right. Like internally, I'd be like, no, this is what they want. Like it doesn't like because Nintendo oftentimes falls on their face because they do what they want and ignore what fans. And they've kind of changed directions lately, and are kind of just giving us. I mean, just the roster for this one alone is the definition of giving people what they want. It's like every character you ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
like it's like, you know, we'll put them in the game if we can get the license. Like, you know, it's like whatever, you know. And I'm like, yeah, like I want to be excited, and it just came home to me tonight. It was like the problem here for me is there are no surprises, and that's a bummer. And like even the DLC characters, they're going to tell us in advance who they are. And then there's still no surprises. Not like it's going to show up like a package in the game one day, which I would love. I would absolutely love it if they said like, look, if you subscribe and get the full package in advance, the full 5, you know, a couple of them we're going to tell you in advance, but a couple of them we're going to tell you the date, and the whole world's going to find out at the same time. You know, like it's going to appear in your game, and kaboom, you know, you all find out that Joker from Batman is the next character. You're like, that's crazy because you already put Joker in the first time. What do I get? You know, and it's like that'll be awesome, you know. But like, yeah, I don't know. I just want surprise, and that's the bummer for me. Where I'm like, well, I got to think of this differently to be happy. I just gotta play it and enjoy the idea that this is a multiplayer game that I'm going to play with my friends, and it's going to be great, and we're going to love it. You know, it's going to be like Smash 4 on steroids with like even more characters, and I'm still going to suck, and it's still going to be fun. You know, like it's like, you know, whatever.
For the surprise I'm like desperately trying to hold on to is the adventure mode and like the cutscenes. And even before hearing anything, I'm like, I know they're really not going to put a whole lot of cutscenes in there. I'm assuming there's an intro and an outro, and like that's what I assumed going into it, like the bare minimum, because they have an intro, so they have to have like you know, we beat them, we beat the boss kind of thing. I think there's like more than the expected to, but I've heard like don't expect much. Like when he said it's not story related, or it's not really focused on story to trust it.
It's not like a big
which is
unfortunate,
and I had that mentality going in. So that would have been cool if they like did something with him, because literally no other game is going to have all of these licensed characters in the game at all. Like you're not going to see, well, it's not the 80s anymore, so you're not going to see Konami do their weird fighting game. I forget what that was called, but where you have like Transformers and Snake and like all these other weird things. But basically, no one else is going to do this anymore in their own way, unless it's their own franchise. So it's like, huge missed opportunity. It's like, man, you got. When were you going to have Cloud fighting Link on like an Earthbound stage, and like Rathalos appears, and then Snake like chokeholds Ridley? Like never. It's never in a million years, except for this literally one game. It's like, man,
I respect your opinion there, but I have a feeling I would have hated it. But I respect your opinion there. It wouldn't have been a deal breaker for me had they tried that. But honestly, like the Subspace
It's because
Emissary
I know they're
felt
not going to do like. It doesn't seem like they're going to do a Smash Brothers movie kind of thing. I'd be
Right.
fine if they did that, but I don't know if they're really going to do it.
right.
So that's why it feels like so crappy.
I-
But yeah, go on.
I just think I would probably hate it because I would feel like they're just trying to jam a plot together that doesn't make any sense just for the sake of it. Because like that's how I felt about Subspace Emissary. I respectfully understand that other people liked it. I thought it was garbage when I played it. I thought the play action was garbage and the story was so goofy. I don't even pretend I understand it a bit of it. I was like, this is nuts. This is just like a weird plot where you had to literally try to fit every character into a plot,
Mhm.
and it didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't get it, and I didn't care about it. Like, and I didn't like Subspace Emissary at all. But I respect that everyone else did, and maybe I should go back and try it again sometime. Maybe I would like it better. But I really thought it was janky as shit and like
no,
boring.
I agree
kind
with
of.
you. The gameplay itself was pretty bad
Yeah,
for the most part because
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
never make it work is the problem because you have all these characters that have different physics and you can't
Right.
make platforms that would
Right.
work well because it's like, oh, if you do it one way, it's going to screw over other characters, but it'll be
Right.
easy for someone else. So
right,
that was
exactly.
never going to work.
Yeah.
It was more of
It felt
the
staged.
fantasy of
Yeah.
it, like if you were in different Nintendo worlds and just seeing all of them come together. That's
Right.
neat itself.
Right.
But yeah, it was
Yeah,
more so
I
about the
would say
cutscenes.
it's slow. Keep your expectations low. I have not played many hours of it. I've played like 4 or 5 hours, I think, of the new one, the World of Light.
Yeah.
And I think the map art is really good, and you'll like that a lot because you have an appreciation for that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I think there is some surprise to be had to double back on myself in that you don't know who you're going to encounter, and there are branching paths and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, so it's
I've seen
like
a bit of it. Like
Yeah,
some of
you
the
like-
10-minute
yeah.
versions on YouTube
Yeah.
or whatever.
So, then you've seen a little bit of it. Yeah, the art is good, and there's the surprise in like you go down roads and different paths open up and other ones close and stuff, and like you're not quite sure which way you're going or what you're doing even at some points, which is like mildly entertaining to me in a surprise sense. I'll give it that. I'm like, oh, I wonder who's going to be down this path. There's like not really any clues or anything. It's not like you're going to like have anything to base your decisions on really that I can tell. You're just like, well, let's go this way. You know what I mean? And then, oh shit, this character's down this road, or whatever, that kind of thing. But it what Mike had said, which I think listeners should be informed. Mike had to disappear for a little bit. He obviously clearly had company over at his house and was getting ready to do something, so he couldn't stick around for a little while.
Yeah.
But what Mike was saying, I kind of like, if I had to say something nice, since I said so many negative things, is that, again, no spoilers or anything like that for you, but like this, you clearly know what it is. The spirits mode, like, I like the mods kind of that, like, it forces you to fight under, because I'm not attaching spirits to my characters, so I'm going in like vanilla. Like I got like one of my favorite characters, Sheik, was one of the first characters I unlocked, and then I've got like just only a very small number of other characters like in spirit mode open to myself. I have like 4 characters to choose from in spirit mode. And I'm just having to go into fights, and I'm not even attaching spirits, and I'm like going in like vanilla regular character, and then you're having to fight these like master hand type situations where it's like, oh, the character's metal and he's huge, and he starts the round with a laser pistol, and you're like, this is going to be hard. And then it is a little hard. You might be fighting, and like Mike said, maybe it'll get a lot harder. Maybe I'm just not to that part yet, which is fair, because there are hard matches then where it's like the characters are just so OP that you're facing. They're like 3 duplicates of the character, all with laser pistols. It's just a random example I'm making up. Like, and they're all super fast. And you're like, oh crap! Like, this is challenging. Okay, like this is gonna make me better if I can survive this, or whatever. And that's what I'm kind of looking for. Like kind of like wax on, wax off, like challenges where it's like, okay, this is gonna force me to be as good as I can. Especially since I'm not using like handicaps, or whatever, like, or spirits as they call them. Like that, I'm doing it like that just for the sake of it. Maybe I will have to start using the spirits eventually, like he said, because it's going to get too hard, and I can imagine it because I'm not very far into it, and I'd say it's medium at this point, but I also suck, so I'd say medium easy would probably be a better rating of it. But so yeah, bro. Well, I look forward to hearing your review a little bit more when you've played a little bit more, because you are like Mr. Smash. People who don't read your stuff on Source Gaming don't know that you analyze Smash as much as a non-pro player I've ever seen analyze Smash. Like, so it's like you're gonna have opinions for sure once you play it some more.
Yep.
So yeah, bro.
Yeah. So I think we'll move on to some of the other news. The first one is also Smash. So the Game Awards happened, and they actually showed off quite a bit of Nintendo stuff. I was actually surprised. I'm like, this was a better like Nintendo Direct than whatever the last Nintendo Direct was. The last one was like, I think in September it had Luigi's Mansion, and then like they announced Animal Crossing with nothing to show for it, and like some other stuff in the middle. I honestly couldn't even remember. Maybe there was some good stuff and I'm not remembering it, but as far as I'm concerned, it was so not memorable, and it was only a few months ago that there probably wasn't that much great stuff in it. So I was like, wow, they actually have some cool stuff. So the first thing was they showed off the first DLC character for Smash. Just like a trailer, nothing of the gameplay, but Joker coming to Smash from Persona 5. I don't know about you, but I would have liked to hear Mike, but he's not here. I haven't played Persona 5. I kind of want to, but I'm excited because I have no idea how he'll play. All I know is that like characters have personas, which is like basically some spirit that fights on behalf of them or something to that extent. I don't really know. And in each game, they have a different way to unlock them. In the third one, you shoot yourself in the head, which I think is hilarious. That would have been funny to have. In this one, I think they like take off their glasses or something. I don't know. But I think it'll be funny and cool because I have no clue how it'll work. And a lot of people seem excited. So what did you make of this character coming in?
I have actually not seen the trailer yet because I have to rant about GameStop when we get to that. But I had to leave to get my midnight copy of Smash at GameStop, of course, that night when the Game Awards were going on. And so that announcement must have come after I departed my home to, as I said, go down to GameStop, and pick up my copy just like they told me I could at midnight. And so I never saw the trailer yet. And so when I heard about it on the internet, I wasn't making a joke. I'd made a joke, listeners, to Matt on Twitter, that I hope the Joker plays like the Heath Ledger version of the Joker. And by that time, I knew I was making a joke by that point. But when I first heard it, I definitely thought it was Joker from Batman because I don't play Persona.
That is, to be fair, he's the most popular Joker you could think of.
Yeah. Unless you're a real hardcore like playing card game freak, and then you're thinking of the Joker card and a deck of Jokers, which
an Uno card is coming. It's like no.
Which is in fact a reference to I believe the Joker got his name from, but that's another story, But I was like, I have to say, I'll give you my reaction. I have no reaction to the guy from Persona because I've never played it, and I would need to know more to have any kind of informed opinion about Persona. Like, I know it's not a game I'd like because I heard it's very slow and it's very like RPG-ish, like sim life RPG, whatever. So I'm never playing it. But like, I don't begrudge it. Like, because like I was the same way about Cloud. I don't play Final Fantasy either, but everybody else is so pumped that I have to be pumped for everyone else. Like, I just have to be like, cool. Like, for me, I live up to my name when it comes to like my retro gaming title that you gave me for the show. All my wishes are from like obscure or not even that obscure, but just old games that are like not even that crazy big popular, where, I mean, some of them would be like awesome, like Bionic Commando or something like that. I think the whole world would like get lit on fire if Bionic Commando came to Smash, or whatever. But trust me, my list goes deep into ones that are less like knowledgeable than that, whatevs. But the hipster gamer right here, I know that's Mike's title, but like yeah, I have no opinion on it. I was a little bemused when I thought it was Joker from Batman, because it just seems such like an odd crossover that like after Bayonetta, I guess all the bets are off in my mind. I'm like, yeah, like that was a weird person to bring into Smash. Like that, I never thought Snake even fits in Smash, even though I played original, like, well, not original quote, but the very first NES Metal Gear, but even I was like, that's a weird fit. He's like a dude that like, chokes people out and like, kills people with missile launchers and stuff, and now he's in Smash Brothers. Okay, it never all those characters always feel like a little bit off to me because they don't feel like they belong in Smash universe. But that's, I guess, because in my mind, I'm the old guy who just thinks the only people who should get in Smash are from games that are like 25 plus years old, or something like that. You've got to be real, like, in my mind. But then I would take that back and say, no, I'm totally down with like Olimar or like the Splatoon Inklings being there because they're first party Nintendo. Whereas like maybe it's like a third party type thing where I like have a little bit of trouble getting my head around it. Like I'm like, yeah, really, you're here now? So Joker definitely falls in that category for me, where it's like, really, like someone from a game that's never been on a Nintendo system.
It might be. There's rumors that they might. Some of the other games in this series got like not remakes, but they re-release it with like extra content and stuff. So there's rumors they might do that with the Switch because there were like trademarks licensed.
Really?
Like Persona, like it was an acronym. It was like P5, like U and P5R or something. So people are thinking like Persona 5 Ultimate or Reloaded because Persona 4 got Persona 4 Golden, and I think someone mentioned like the other ones got something like that too. Wasn't able to check, but
nice. Well, then maybe
it would
get to
be
play
weird.
It.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it would be weird because I always thought like because they were on Sony consoles that maybe they just paid for an exclusive fee at some point. Like, hey, these things are pretty popular. Let's make sure it stays on ours. But who knows?
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to wait for that because I know they have like spin-offs on other stuff, but I haven't seen the mainline ones on anything but Sony. So we'll see.
I thought Sony was it was a Sony property. I think I thought that, like, which was another reason it was a little surprising when I didn't think too deeply about it. But like, I think I thought that, I thought that was the case, like that Sony owns it, exclusively. So yeah, I guess we'll see, huh? But yeah, I don't know. I am curious about it because I remember, wasn't Flea one of the former hosts of the show? Wasn't Flea a big Persona fan? I think he was.
I don't know. I know Mike's played the one on the Vita, the Persona 5 or Persona 4 Golden.
I feel like I remember Flea posting pictures of Persona, like when the new one got, like a few years ago, when they didn't they reboot the series or crowdfund the series or something like that to come back?
No,
wasn't that the case? Wasn't that Persona?
No.
Am I thinking of a different series?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm thinking of something different then. Oh, I'm thinking of Shenmue.
Oh, Shenmue. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Shenmue when I think of that. Like, that's what I'm thinking of there. But like, that's probably what I was thinking with Flea. I think Shenmue was what he was pumped about. But anyway, so that's irrelevant. Yeah, I don't know. Cool, whatever. I personally, I hope that this reveal for the first DLC character, which there are 5, right?
Yeah.
They said there are 5, and they're going to all be in 2019. Something to that effect. Or...
They said it's going to like January or like February 2020. So.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if like that's when they're planning the last one is, but they just gave that like basic date.
So 5 across roughly a year, a little over a year, like is what they're kind of saying.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that
hopefully they space it like one every 2 months, like evenly.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think they're gonna do like Smash 4 where it's like here's 3. Well, yeah, they're definitely not going to because there's only 5 of them. So.
I hope not. I hope that
hopefully it's
totally
not like here's 2 and then we're gonna wait like 4 months for like 1 or something. I'm sure they'll do it as evenly as possible.
They'll definitely save at least 1 for next Christmas. A year away to sell more copies of the game, like just for that last batch of people that don't have it yet. That it's like, let's get Smash back in the news and remind the people that are still holding out that there's a reason to buy Smash. But like what I was going to say is like if I was the program director of this, I'd be like, all right, we need to start with a real big reveal. And then definitely the second one's going to be probably a drop off, like one of the lesser characters that we're going to reveal. And then, kind of alter it back and forth. I guess all I'd be hoping for is that like maybe other characters, they're not so far outside the Nintendo universe. If they're going to drop people, like maybe Toad, like literally, I know Peach already is holding him. I know he's already in the game. Technically in Peach's hands, but Captain Toad or something like really big where it's like Nintendo Universe, like legitimate, at least one or two of the characters is all I guess I'm trying to say. It would be like something I can relate to, like even or like classic Nintendo, like I said, like Bionic Commando, random example off the top of my head or something, you know. Not like all characters like the Bayonetta style to me, like Cloud and Bayonetta, like all fall in that same camp as Joker, where I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, you know, like, but you're not really, you know, A-list Nintendo to me or whatever. But I don't know, you know, what else, you know,
You
like
hate the
I'm
weebs.
sure it'll.
I got it.
Yeah. Well, it's
that's
more like
what I'm
it's more
getting.
like it's more like I don't want to see the roster dilute to the point where it doesn't feel Nintendo anymore.
Sure. I mean,
you know,
honestly, I don't
know.
think that's much of a problem because there's like 70 bloody characters, and like there's very few that. I think we only have like 6 or something third-party characters, so it's like they're a drop in the water.
I believe you if you say that, but it feels like more to me. Are you serious? Only 6?
Let me see. Snake, Sonic.
Simon.
What was Smash 4? Pac-Man,
Simon.
Mega Man.
Simon Belmont.
Yeah, Simon Belmont.
Cloud, Bayonetta.
Cloud, Bayonetta.
I mean, Bayonetta works. Bayonetta works for Nintendo now, sort of though, so it's weird, but whatever. Yeah. Like, you know.
So 7, and like half of those are like part of Nintendo history. Like, no, that's it. I
mean, and yeah, we're gonna count Pokemon as Nintendo. I agree with that. Like, it's Nintendo. Like, it is. Like, so. Yeah, I believe you say so. That's amazing because I'm not looking at the roster. So,
well, they only introduced like 2 in each one, so that's how I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
But even then, like Pac-Man, Mega Man, Simon Belmont, like those are pretty Nintendo characters.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm getting in the way of Pac-Man or fucking Simon Belmont being in Smash. No, there's no way I'm getting in the way of that. Don't get me wrong. You know, Sonic, he's too fast, so he can take a hike. Like, I just think he sucks. Like, you know, I hate fighting him. I hate having to deal with him, and I hate his moveset because they're all the fucking same. It's like, all right, I'm going to spin in a ball. This is great. It's super fun. Like, you know, like every time I use him, I'm like, Jesus, like he's really good when people use him. He's just annoying, like to play as for me. I'm like, this sucks. Like all that auto targeting stuff. Screw that. Yeah. Rant over. Sonic. But I don't begrudge him. I like that he works for Nintendo now. He's Nintendo made him his bitch, and it's great. It's just like, get down. Mario's here, bro. Like, So it's cool.
Yeah. So we'll move on to. I think I might cut some of these out, depending on how it goes. But the next one will pop up is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is an exclusive to Switch, which is interesting. I didn't think I'd see this game come back again, and let alone be exclusive. Although now that after when I thought about it, I'm like, it kind of makes sense because there's an Avengers game being made by Square Enix. I think it's Crystal Dynamics is making it, who worked on, I forget which Tomb Raiders. I don't remember if it's the rebooted Tomb Raiders or whatever. I think that's them anyway. But I don't think that's going to come to Switch. So I think this is like probably a good trade-off for Nintendo. Like, hey, we're definitely not getting that other game, but let's make sure we get this one. So then we'll have a Marvel game, and especially next year when it's going to have, the second Spider-Man movie and Infinity War Part 2, and at least Infinity War Part 2 is big enough. So I'm sure that'll be a win for them. But I haven't played the other ones, but it looks pretty cool. It's nice to see all the Marvel characters back in a fighting, not a fighting game, in an action game, but whatever. But it has better characters than Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate or Infinite, which is unfortunate. But I don't know. I think it looks cool.
What did you think of that reveal? Like, how did that look to you? It looked a little pixelated to me. Like, what did you think of that? It looked like a 3DS game to me, honestly, in the graphics they were showing. Maybe it was my transmission of the Game Awards. That's where I saw it. But the graphics didn't look that strikingly good to me. They looked like I said, it looked like almost 3DS level to me. What did you think?
Oh shoot, that's not the HD trailer. I thought it looked all right. I think it could have probably looked better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's early days, so it's like I can't really say much. It's like, who knows?
Yeah.
Like what we're seeing.
Yeah, but honestly, I thought it was the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game when it first opened up, because the Guardians were like kind of flat shaded looking. It's like, oh,
Right.
I don't. This doesn't look like that game, but it does. Because
Mhm.
like obviously the character proportions and everything is different in that game. But I was like, oh,
Right.
this is weird. And then like I found out it was an action game. Like, okay, cool. I don't know. The other Ultimate Alliance games were also pretty cartoony, to be fair.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it would have been
Uh-huh.
nice if they were a bit more detailed or something. But it's serviceable, at the very least.
Okay. It would have been something I would have played, which it probably isn't something I'm going to play unless it like sets the world on fire and turns out to be the greatest game ever. It's probably not the kind of thing I'm going to buy.
Mhm.
But like, it would have had me. You and I have talked off podcast a lot. Like, I'm only a casual like Marvel movie MCU fan, like very casual. I haven't seen even nearly all of them, including the most recent ones. But like, if it would have been a Guardians game, it might have had me because like they showed like Rocket, and I was like. Like as I've said to Matt, I'm such a casual. Like easily, the Guardians are my favorite by like a long mile. Like you know, like in the MCU, and like I was like, oh dude, a Guardians of the Galaxy game. Like I could get down with that because it's gonna have the humor at least, you know, or whatever. And then it was like, oh, it's everybody, and half of these characters I'm probably gonna think are cheesy, you know, or whatever. So I don't know. I'll wait and hear what you guys say about it when it comes out because you guys are you guys seem more devoted to that whole thing, especially you, Matt, like of the MCU. So I'll wait for your review of the demo when it comes out. So you know, so
Interesting thing.
yeah.
It's made by Team Ninja.
Oh,
which is
cool.
weird. Yeah.
Nice. They have mostly hits, like, so that's cool.
Yeah,
so,
they do the Warriors games and Ninja Gaiden, like the 3D ones.
Right. Yeah, like I said,
So
mostly hits.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not all of them, but you know, they're a studio that knows how to make a game, so that's cool. Yeah, that's neat. I wasn't blown away by the reveal of it, but like I said, that it was only mainly because I found out it wasn't just the Guardians the whole time, and I know that I'm going to play it and be like, oh, I wish this was all the Guardians, not now. Why do I have to play as this other character I don't care about, you know, or whatever? So, yeah. But are there any exclusively Guardians of the Galaxy's video games that are of note? Like,
Just a Telltale game. So it's just a narrative based game.
Yeah, I'd hate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably hate something like that. So, like for God's sake, they make the Back to the Future video game, and I didn't even play that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, they
that's
made
one of
like
the greatest
a lot of IPs.
time. Yeah. So, but cool. Yeah, I thought of you guys like when that popped up. I was like, oh, my friends in the podcast might like that because it's a little outside my wheelhouse. But cool.
Yeah. I hope it's more than just like a basic brawler. Because it
Mhm.
looks like it might just be like, here's your regular attack and here's your special, and that's as
Yep.
far as it goes.
Like
So,
yeah, like
I hope
yeah,
it's more than that,
yeah.
because then it's not really. Then it just seems like it's a Lego game.
yeah.
'Cause
I
it's
was
like,
gonna literally
like then it's like,
Yeah.
then I don't really care so much because it's not really special that way. Like, I mean, it's
Right.
cool that it's a crossover, but then if it's just so basic, then it doesn't matter. So I
That's
don't know.
literally
It
when
depends
you
on
said that. I thought, yeah, it could be just a Lego game where it's like the whole excitement is supposed to be like the crossover, as you put it. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh boy, now I'm Rocket. Now now I'm Iron Man. Sweet. You know, it's like, who cares? Like, those Lego games lost their appeal the second I realized that was the whole formula. That I was like, wait, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's all this is. It's like, oh, I got Yoda unlocked. Sweet. You know, that's my reaction.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why don't I go play a game I care about? Like,
exactly.
So, but to each their own. So, yeah. What else is in the news?
Crash Team Racing. They made a remake of it after they did the Crash Insane trilogy, and I think the same team did the Spyro trilogy as well. They're now making the Crash Team racing game. Remaking that. I've said the same thing too many times at this point.
Tell me, what's
it
the
is
name of this
weird.
game?
It is weird that they're remaking like a kart racer, because in my mind it's like, wow, what a random game to remake out of all the kinds of things you could remake. But apparently, like even before this, I heard a lot of people really like that game. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, apparently
That's
it's
fun.
beloved. So they're getting what they wanted. That's for sure. So that's good. It looks really good, just
Does it?
visually.
Cool.
I only played like one of their games. I forget, something on the GameCube. It was okay, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll pick this up. I still haven't even picked up the actual trilogy. I'm getting the Spyro one for Christmas, but It looks cool. I don't really know much more else about it, but I'll keep my eyes on it.
Right.
It'll definitely be better than Sonic and the whatever the
Sonic
heck they're
Race.
planning on doing now. Now that it's not what I wanted.
Spoken like
giving-
a true game.
Yeah, they're giving it like 6 more months, but I don't really know because I'm just gonna play it by myself anyway. And if it's a team focused game, then I'm not really gonna get the full use out of it.
Yeah, you're certainly not going to get what they were aiming for if that's
Yeah.
your attitude.
Yeah, I wonder.
To me, I'm like, I don't get kart racing outside of Smash outside of Mario Kart. Like, I just don't get the appeal. But I never played Diddy Kong Racing, and everyone says that one's like legit as hell.
Mhm.
And so I've never done that. I've never done that route of like other kart racers. I'm like, you're all just biting on Mario Kart. You know you are. You
For the
know, like
most
that's
part,
always
yeah.
my snotty attitude. You know, or whatever. But maybe they're good. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't actually know what's different about this one. Like Diddy
Uh-huh.
Kong Racing, you have different like modes of transportation, and it
Mhm.
varies based off of like the terrain. Like sometimes an airplane might be better, and
Right.
well, the only time you
Right.
want to use the water thing is in the water levels, because
Mhm.
the
Right. That makes
like
sense.
the car won't work, and it's not good on land, so that's kind of pointless.
Like,
It's really
breaking
just the
news.
plane or the car, but
Breaking news: use the boat in the water.
yeah. Wasn't enough wheels, man.
Game. This is the game tips feature of our podcast. Everyone,
Yeah. Light tips.
Counselor's Corner by Matt. Like, if you want to rock at Diddy Kong Racing, I got a hot tip for you, brother.
Yeah.
Choose Diddy and use the boat. Nice, I love it. Sorry, that's great.
that's
We should
good.
do a tips and tricks episode, like
my
where we like all try to come up with tips and tricks, but every like 5th trick is really like obvious trick. Like I'd like to help people out. Be like, charge your controllers before your friends come over, then they'll be able to play with you. You're like, yeah,
To go forward, press the gas button.
that's actually good. That's actually good advice. Now that I think about it, it's like charge those controllers, kids, and press the gas when you're playing a racing game. Like don't press the reverse button like I do occasionally when I'm playing any racing game and start the race hitting the reverse button, and then you're sitting there going like, "There's something wrong with my controller. Like what's going on here?" And everyone else is like halfway around the track. So yeah, so don't do that. All right. So the Crash trilogy is coming out. Did you have any interest in talking about that or your thoughts on that really kooky game that was the very first game reveal of the whole GamesCon or whatever? Was it Game Awards or whatever?
Sure, yeah,
Nintendo's
because I know
new-
you wanted to bring it up. So how I watched the Game Awards was I was busy working, and I just
Okay.
had it like on my iPad to the side for the most, or well, I had it in
Sure.
front of me, but I was like only checking back periodically. And when I heard the Switch sound, I'm like, okay, let me pay attention for like a minute and see what's
course.
going on, because I'm like
That's very
waiting for
courteous of
Smash or
them.
something else.
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally.
like great, good job, Nintendo. You just made it easier for me to pay attention to your trailers.
It is. It was genuinely courteous of them because I don't give a crap about the other games, and I'm like sitting there working too, and I'm like, "Oh, Switch, yeah, click.
Yeah.
All right, it's
Yeah, like-
working. Their plan to make us pay attention when you hear that sound is working.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
the
classic
Pavlovian dog effect or whatever the heck it is.
Pavlovian dog. Yeah,
Pavlov's
you got
dog.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, totally.
But,
So yeah,
I
what is
didn't.
this
So I
game?
didn't really see it.
Oh,
All
we
that
should
much.
say the name.
What
What is the name
It's
of
called Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Okay, yeah, I like the name. It's
Yeah.
kooky. I like it.
I went back to look at it after, and I'm waiting for this ad to load so I can rewatch it. Totally not
Right.
buying my time. It didn't show too
Right.
much gameplay.
You're funny.
It's
Dude,
trippy, that's for sure. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I just don't even know what kind of game it is. Is this a rhythm game? Like, what is it? Like,
I don't-
I don't get it.
No. It kind of reminds me of Thumper, if you've seen that
Right.
before,
Yeah,
or
I have it.
or Audio Surf, where it's not
Yeah,
specifically like
but yes.
Rhythm Heaven is like push the button at this specific time. Thumper,
Right.
well, Thumper does have that, but like
I
audio,
played a lot of
I don't know.
Thumper is
Some of those are like more freeform, and
Uh-huh.
it seems kind of like that.
Mhm.
It changes way too much, like to even
Yeah.
describe how crazy it is. Someone's riding on a bike at one time, then like a skateboard, and then like hops over between different tracks. Like riding a deer at one point through a forest, and like someone's fighting with a sword.
Yep.
Very, very weird, but interesting.
At first, when they showed it, my first thought, honestly, was like a wish that it isn't. It's like, it's such a shame, and I wonder if you can guess what I was thinking. What series might I thought it was when I first saw it? Do you have any inkling of like what I might have imagined it was, given all the things you just commented on, and the fact that I thought it was a rhythm game is the big hint. Like my first, not to drag it out, my first thought was, is this the return of the Elite Beat agents or something? Like, because that series wasn't the Elite Beat agents in Japan, and I've never played the original. I've heard it's worth getting, even though it's in Japanese, so you have to like do some work to play it. But it was a whole nother series that they rebranded the characters into the characters we know in the East here, in the West, excuse me, here. And I was like, is this that? Was my first reaction. Like, is this that series just coming out in its purest form? You know, like we're getting like a return to it, because I would love that. I loved that game. I absolutely love the Elite Beat agents. That game is so funny, and in spite of the fact that there are songs about people's dads dying and are really disturbing in it, and like really, really over emo crap in that game, like that you cannot believe is in a video game, like at least on Nintendo, like handheld kids game
for children,
but like for children, you know what I mean? Like where there's a whole section of the game is about on Christmas Day remembering your dead dad, and you're like, what? Like, you know, and you have to do a song about it. Like, you know, but other than that, you know, it's like it's an amazing game, even though it's covers, even though it's not the original tracks for like all of the songs, as far as I know. But I love that series, and that's what I thought it was. But I don't know. There's something about the art style that caught my eye on this one that I thought, wow, this looks really unique. Like it looks different, you know, and I'm down for that. And it's first party Nintendo, right? It's Nintendo making this game, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
so
I don't think so.
Oh, it isn't? Oh, it isn't? It isn't first party?
I haven't
Wasn't
checked.
sure. I should have checked. I apologize. I thought
trailer. I didn't
I
think
think I got
assumed no. No, it's Simogo.
Okay, it's not. Okay.
Studio,
I think I just thought that because they had the Nintendo Switch logo, and I just made an assumption that is obviously incorrect. That I was like, oh, this is Nintendo's game or whatever. So, but in any case, I thought it looked cool, and I like that they featured something so offbeat like that up front in front of a big audience, you know, that was like, yeah, check this out, Nintendo, we're still weird, you know, like, you know, this is the game we're choosing to lead with, you know. So you know, but I don't know, I want to know more. I'll say that, like, this is one of those games that I could feel like maybe we'll hear a lot about, and Nintendo tries to push it down our throats, like Sushi Striker or something, or it's the kind of we're going to forget about in a few months and never hear about again. Really, it'll drop real quietly, and it'll just be like, whatever. It just, you know, isn't our big focus anymore. We went on to something else or whatever. But who knows?
I mean,
right?
They usually try to push a few indie games, like specific indie games. So I could see this being one of them.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Right.
Even even in the trailer, they have like a Game Boy cartridge.
Oh, do they? I didn't recall that.
Headset.
My feed was really bad, like, so I might have missed it. My feed when I was watching it was skipping and stuff, like, so interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Neat. Well, maybe I just subconsciously forgot that, and maybe that's why I thought it was Nintendo. I thought, oh, okay, it's Nintendo or something. But anyhow, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail it.
I
just was curious what you thought about it. Like, I just couldn't figure out what it was. But sometimes that's how to get me interested in a game. I'm like, if I can't quite figure out what it is, I end up more interested than otherwise. And I'm like if I just know, it's like right away. Like, I'm like, Marvel. Yeah, I'm bored. Like, I don't care. You know, whatever, that kind of reaction. So, interesting. Cool. What else, my Matt?
I'll quickly bring up two things. Stanley Parable is coming. It's a console port and has more endings. I thought it was a great game. I played it on PC. Check it out. It's probably only going to be like I don't know, like $15 or something. So it's I don't see it going more than that.
No, it's not a sequel. It's like a revamped deluxe edition or something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. I played a little bit of it at my friend's house on Steam. Like, we played it one night because he said I would like it. He's like, you'll find this amusing. It's very bizarre. And it was fun. We didn't get super far into it, but it felt pretty linear. And I'm curious, do you think the game ever diverts from that eventually? or is it pretty linear throughout? What would your take on that thought be?
I mean, I guess my question is, what do you consider branching off for a game like this?
I mean, I only played about an hour of it, maybe, but there weren't a lot of choices. It was just like walking around, and it was cool because I liked the atmosphere of it. My friend was right. I mean, we were just sitting drinking beers and just like checking it out because he told me to check it out and was just watching me play it. And I liked it because it was weird, and the way it was talking to you, and the fourth wallness of it and stuff. Like I liked all that about it, but I never felt like much challenge.
Yeah, no, like, it's really just more of a narrative game than anything else.
Okay. Well, if it's cheap, I might play it. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
I think it's cool just because it like toys around with game mechanics, kind of breaks what you think would normally happen, and just the announcer talking to you is really funny. It's well written, so I think it's worth it for that. It's short, but I like it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, so for people who haven't played it, it's no spoilers, but it's a very strange game, and it's a very narrative-based game, and it's like it's almost a unique experience in that the game is talking to you, telling you what to do, and I won't say more than that because I didn't get very far, so I actually don't know. But it's a unique game, and it's a choose your own
adventure sort of thing, but rather than have it so specific as in like the Telltale series where it's like choose this option and this thing will happen, where it's like very clear. It's like you walk around and explore, and that's your way of choosing, and what happens you won't really know.
That's probably would have helped me if I could see a little more that I had choices to make. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it, but that when you say that, I'm like, I believe you that there are consequences to my action in the game. I just couldn't tell. Because it's like real life. It doesn't show you what the option would have been if you didn't do it. Yeah. It's like, this is now you're here. And it's like, okay. And I got that sense. So I kind of had an inkling that was going on, but that would help me if I was going to give a critique to the developers as a casual gamer in that realm of that type of game, that if I knew somehow I was making choices. Because to me, it just felt like I was kind of walking from place to place, and stuff happened, and then I walked up to a new place, and it was like, okay, but I did like the art of it, and I did, like you said, like the story seemed interesting in a very surrealistic, like kind of creepy way. So it was like, yeah. So the Stanley Parable coming to Nintendo Switch. So cool. While you figure out what's next, I will remind the listeners that if you bought the physical copy of Smash Brothers, don't forget to register for your gold coins. You have to do that in the menu of your Switch. You have to go in and actually like pick a choice. I think you press the plus button or something when you're hovering over the software, and then it goes to another screen, and it's easy to forget to do this. And then there's a choice where you register your software, and then you'll get those gold coins that you may or may not ever use for something. And then also the key is that if you do that, you will get a download code emailed to you for whatever email is associated with your Nintendo Switch for the PD Piranha downloadable character. You don't get him yet. Just to clarify, you get a code that you register, and then when he becomes available, you will be able to download PD Piranha for Smash. But so you have to do those steps in order to get PD Piranha. Just don't forget to register your game, and everything else will happen. Keep an eye on your junk mail, because that's where it went for me. It was like an email from Nintendo, like, here's your code.
Yeah, and I've heard for some people, or at least maybe this was only for launch, that it didn't show up immediately, and it took a couple of days. So I just be on the alert. It might not be immediate. I think that I would assume it's probably fixed now, because I think that was just people saying that on launch. But just be aware, be mindful of that. It may not be immediate.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like mine, I got my internet like the morning after launch, and then it only arrived today on my email. So it was at least a couple days of a delay. So that very well could happen for sure. So cool.
And then the last thing we'll end off with is Mortal Kombat 11 is coming to Switch.
Get over here!
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's kind of crazy. Well, maybe not. I think they had some of the games on the Wii. I think there's like
Yes, they had
Armageddon or something.
Armageddon on the Wii. Yes, like absolutely, it was.
I don't
Yeah,
even
remember
know why
playing
I know this useless knowledge. I didn't even play the dang thing.
it.
That's where all
I
my
did.
brain power is going to. Useless knowledge I don't
Knowledge.
will never
Yep,
have
yep,
use for.
always. You're not alone in that. You're called we're called humans, so you're not alone on that problem. I did play it on the Wii at my friend's house, and it was impossible to play because he didn't have a pro controller, and you had to play it with the remote.
Gosh. You might as well just
Yeah,
chuck it
it
out the
was.
window.
It was ridiculous. Like, because I was badass at Mortal Kombat 2, like everyone of my generation, and played the shit out of it. It was easily the most I played any fighting game ever until Smash Brothers, in my life. Yeah. Like, it would be hard for me to even estimate the number of hours I played Mortal Kombat 2, but it feels like a very high number. And like, so playing Armageddon was just stupid. It was just like with Wiimotes, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you were just like, and I remember wanting to like it, being like, oh man, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in forever. This should be cool, And I was like, God, this sucks. Like, can't do any specials, can't get anything to work right, So, are you a Mortal Kombat player, Matt? I don't even know the answer to that.
Not really. I haven't played them, to be honest. I don't think I've had. Well, I guess because of the Wii, I did have opportunities, but I don't know. There's nothing. There's no reason why I wouldn't play it. It's not like I hate it or dislike it in any way. It's just a game that like didn't really grab my attention much to bother with.
Right.
Like that's like most games, I would say, because you have to choose which ones you want the most. But
yes.
There's also quite a few fighting games.
Yes, that is also a true statement. I
think I would probably play like an Injustice game more, just because like I know the characters and they're cool. There are some neat characters in this, but obviously they're not pre-existing or anything. So it's like you would have to get into the series first to like care about them.
Yes. Right. Yeah, you're better. Your personality and your like tastes are better suited to Injustice for sure. Like you personally, like you, I can say that without a question. Mortal Kombat is like, I mean, we all know why it got famous. It was the bloody, disgusting, insane version of Street Fighter. That is why it dropped like and got so huge. It was one of the first games that had like so much blood in it, and like people dying on screen in like graphic ways, like that weren't just pixelated deaths or anything like that. And there was nothing bigger than Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat in their day. It's the stuff of legends. There's probably books about it by now, of when those games dropped in arcades. It changed everything. And like, I mean, I did not stick with the series past 3 because it was like Mortal Kombat 2 was like to me was just like the most fun. It wasn't like a huge roster. I think it's only like 12 characters. I can't quite remember, 12 or 16. And I mastered the game, knew every single secret move, every single fatality, every single babality, every friendship. It's all technical stuff for Mortal Kombat fans. And then I fell off because then 3 they started. I just felt like it got comic booky, right? Like extreme. It was already comic booky. Let's not get this wrong. But like it got extremely comic booky in part 3, where they started adding robot versions of other characters. So now you had these like imposter robot versions of the characters and love that have different moves. And I was like, wait, what? And then they went to like 3D, like fake 3D space in part 4, which I own that game too. But you could like rotate around in a circle, almost Tekken style. And then I was already like tapping out. Like I was just like, this is like hard, and it doesn't feel like I understand what it adds to the game. I'm just like, they're just like playing a 3D game now, like, oh, we got to do that because everyone else is doing it. And I played a lot of games, but I could feel my heart wasn't in it anymore. And then I just fell out of the series. So I don't know. From the videos I've seen of part 10, I don't think I have any interest in playing a game this gory. I'm just going to be blunt. I'm grown ass adult now, yo. And like, I just don't need to see body horror for the sake of entertainment. Like, and I'm not like scared of it. I just don't have the attraction of seeing like the level of graphic detail they go into now. Cause I've seen like 2 fatalities from part 10 and I was like, good God, like, good God. Like, is like this is like human centipede level disgusting, like, holy crap, like, I don't need to see this. Like, I get the appeal, I guess. and I don't begrudge someone if they want to play it, but it's like I want to play it on one hand, and then I realize I would just be put off. Like I think as soon as I started playing, I'd be like, "This is ridiculous!" Like in a way that like doesn't do much for me in a like, yeah, in like a real need to keep playing way. You know, oh boy, I ripped his spine out, and they showed me the cellular graphic breakdown of the spine ripping out of his body. You know, like now I'm good. You know,
Some of
I'm
them
good.
just, yeah, some of them are just like, yeah, I understand. I wouldn't want to see it. Oh,
Yeah.
it just okay. So for listeners, sometimes what I do is I'll look up gameplay of games we're talking about, so I can like, I don't know, have a better grasp of what's going on, and just get a better feel.
What did you just see? What did you just see?
Watching like Mortal Kombat X, it's Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, because we were talking about Scorpion before.
Yep. The two classics, the two most classic characters there are in the series, basically.
Yeah. And
what did you see?
So at the end of this one, Sub-Zero like pulls out not his heart, but he like goes into his stomach and like I guess pulls out his intestines or like liver or something and crushes it. It's like okay, and then like he makes a spear. It's not an ice spear. It looks. I don't even understand. I guess he ripped out his liver, squashed it, and then like made it into like this giant railroad spike. But it's organic. And then he shoves it in Scorpion's eye, and anything to do with eyes makes me cringe. It's so I like Happy Tree Friends is a funny show because it's like it looks like it's for children, and horrible things happen to these characters. But anything to do with eyes just makes me
gets you.
Yeah, it's like no, anything but the eyes. Just no.
Just gets you.
It's the worst part.
That's great. That's great.
Oh,
I know your weakness. Now I know your weakness for what gifts I send you on the internet, like to get you. Yeah,
he rips his head off with his spine out, and even that's not as disgusting.
I know. Right? Yeah, you're just like like you dealt with that part. You were like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm down with like disembowelment and spine removals, but eyes, don't touch my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss playing the series. Like the thing is also my friends and I, everyone who's like my age who played original Street Fighter, original like Mortal Kombat, like, and everybody who's ever played a fighting game can relate to this. We all like have these like deep passionate remembrances, fondnesses for those games. Like, and then if you've been converted by Smash, you don't want to ever play them again. Like you just are like, oh, but I don't want to learn codes. Like I don't want to learn like circle the joystick backwards and forwards and remember to press B and then A and all this crap.
Yeah,
like,
that's honestly why I never got into like Street Fighter or anything. I'm like, if I have to, I know like, some people might say it as like, oh, you don't want to like, I guess, work hard or you're a scrub or whatever. But to me, it's like I don't want to have to memorize how to do like just general attacks and things.
Point?
It's like,
what's the point? Yeah.
Why don't I go to school to learn if I'm going to bother to put effort into learning something? Like
yeah.
Like that's what it feels like to me. I'm like, no, I don't want to learn like with this 3-button or 6-button combo, you do this and this and this. And like, no, just forget it. I'll go play Smash or something that I'll get like just as much enjoyment of. Like you can play these if you just fool around, but I also don't like how most of these games you have to press up to jump. I always hate that. It's like you have too many buttons. Give me the dumb jump button because it feels stupid. Because it's like then I can't do a forward attack or something else because like, oh, I gotta press up and then maybe at an angle so I can like angle it and I don't know. Fundamentally different.
I know. It's a shame when you're someone who grew up playing these. It's a shame because you can't really go back to it the way you want to. There's just nothing there. When you go back to play it, you play it as a novelty for a few minutes, and you're like, man, I remember. Like every single person my age has the same experience. You say something like, I remember when I knew every move in this game, and I blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, and I could finish people in like 10 seconds, and I was so badass. And we all do it. And then you just have no desire to sit there and get good at it again. Yeah. You have none. There is like no urge in your heart to like memorize those moves again. You know, that you're like,
barrier for entry, I find it just makes it too high to bother with.
Yeah.
Where Smash is like, you can, sure, maybe it's not as competitive as other games, but you can still be competitive enough with it.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, it's easy to pick up, but it's more difficult to master, and that's where
Yep.
I find it fun. Even
Yep.
if I'm not going to be like some pro level player, it's like, oh, I can do some stuff that other people might not do. That's fun. Whereas it's like, oh,
Yep.
I want to do like this move. Oh, well, you got to study the textbook.
Yeah.
You got to, here's a
Yeah.
300
go
page
into a
textbook to figure it
Go
out. It's
to a
like,
menu.
forget it.
These moves. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lost thing for many of us. It's just like, it's a shame. Like, it's I haven't even like it. It's so bad that when they released Ryu for Smash, I didn't even learn how to do his moves in there, and
Yeah.
I used to know. That's the part. That's the saddest part. I used to know how to do those moves, and like I should be able to innately remember. Like, oh, like, if I want to do a fireball with Ryu in Smash, I should do the circle punch. I shouldn't just spam the button, because you get an advantage in Smash Brothers for doing the moves the right way. His moves are stronger if you do them the right way. And it's like, I'm still too lazy. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't really like Ryu as a character anyway in Smash. Like, he's too clunky for me, really.
Yeah, I don't like
But,
it
like,
either.
yeah, but it's like, whatevs, like, I just still am like, I'm good. I'm just not going to play as that character.
Yeah.
He's too complicated. Like, I'm same with Shulk. I'm like, I don't think I feel like learning all these cycling of your weapons. I'm good.
Yeah. All I do is smash and buster, which I don't even remember which does which. One does more knockback, one does more damage.
Yeah,
Like, whatever.
totally.
I'll try one of these.
I just spend too much time thinking about doing the moves, and then I lose. I'm like,
You're like, which one should I do? And the match is over.
And someone hit me. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And someone hit me. It's the same with I play a lot of that certain game that starts with G and ends in an Unjin lately, and the game has that problem that, like, I play at a pretty high level now, and there are certain weapons you pick up in the game that have, like, not often, but have mods like that you have to think about, and I've realized they're almost like a trap for me, because then I start taking hits because I'm thinking about the gun, not thinking about the game. It's the same thing that I'm like, this gun might be amazing, but it's distracting me, like trying to concentrate on how its technical function works. Like, it's just like using Shulk. I'm like, I can't do this. This is stupid. Like, I would have to practice a lot, so it would become second nature to, like, remember the order to cycle, to cycle through his items, and stuff like that, that I have to be able to do it in my sleep, which wouldn't be that hard. He only has 5 mods or whatever, but it's still like, not, maybe I'll get into it. I don't really like the sword characters in Smash. Circling back to the thing we started and end with today, Smash, I don't, sword characters really aren't my bag unless his name is Small Toon Link. So it's like, I'm usually good on those, but
I usually find
not
those
the
the
case.
easiest to pick up and play, because they have, like, a fair enough range, and
Yep.
their attacks are either quick or easy to understand.
Mhm. My friend that's new to Smash, he's literally like, that's who
Like,
he plays as. He plays
I would
like
say-
Ike and stuff.
Yeah, I'd say the
Yeah.
best beginner character, some people are going to say
Yeah.
is, I would say, Marth, because he has
Mark
good range,
whatever,
and
totally.
he's very quick, and it's like,
Yep.
you do a forward air attack, it hits you forward in the
Yeah.
air. I mean, like, to a degree,
Yeah.
all of them do that, but I think there's no real, like, gimmick. It's not like, Pikachu's has a multi-hit on this one or this one, and King K. Rool's back air is like a spike, but it takes a second, or this or that. It's just like, you press it and it happens, and
it's very obvious
more
how this
range.
works, because you've played thousands of video games with this same mechanic. Exactly. It's like, swing
It's
the
like
sword, hit the
it
enemy.
does what you expect it to. There's no
My
surprise.
good friend who is new to Smash literally plays as Ike mostly, and he wins matches because he can both troll you with the reflect move, and all he has to do is swing the sword, win the match. And, like, I'm like, you fucking suck. Like, you literally have no scientific, like, concept of this game. You just literally know he's got a huge range, and if I come near you, swing the sword. Like, I'm like, it works enough for you to get wins. Like, this is ridiculous, but it's all good. I should learn to be a better player too. So I should learn to capitalize on knowing what he's going to do every fucking time. But yes, indeed. Yeah. Neato. Well, maybe Scorpion will show up in Smash and he'll get your wish, and then you.
Well, it's not
be
my
like,
wish. I was just saying I wouldn't rule it out, but
Yeah, it's your fantasy. Admit it. You won Scorpion Smash.
No,
We all
I
know
wanted
it.
Oh no, it was shoot, Ryu Hayabusa. I think that would be like it wouldn't
From
from
Jigaiden.
yeah, Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I wanted Simon, so I got him. But I think like Ryu wouldn't be. I don't want to say he would be a good pick because he's an NES character and he's basically the last, like as far as I'm concerned, big NES character there is that they could put in.
There's many more, but I hear you.
I know, but I mean like
he's
a Contra, Bimmy and Jimmy characters, like it's just a guy with a gun sort of thing. Bionic Commando, like I get because he has the the grappling arm, but like when was the last Bionic Commando game? Like literally a decade ago, and that didn't even do well.
It's more like the reason I bring it up is that game has like utter top notch status with everyone of my like NES generation.
Sure.
Like Bionic Commando, it doesn't even matter if it's a relevant game or not. Like it's like Castlevania, kept going. Bionic Commando stands on the same stage to a lot of us almost. It's like one game, but it was so perfect. It was like, I don't know. I hear you. I could sit and make a list, but we've run long already, so I will withhold that information for another time, and say that we can have our dream Smash list another time. We always talk about having a show like that sometimes. So yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's why I also guessed him because Nintendo's worked with Koei Tecmo and made like several games, like the Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors and whatnot. So they at least have a relationship with them. So I could see them being like, "Hey, we work with these people already. Maybe they have something we can use." Obviously, they're not
high points for. I give you high points. He's a likely candidate. I'd give if I was doing your little thing you do on Source Gaming where you give the final rating. I'd give that one a very high score because he is as OG legit as it gets in a Nintendo universe, and he's a ninja. There's Greninja.
Yeah, even like Sheik is pretty much a ninja, but even then, like they don't. She is. But I mean, like Ryu is more of like an actual ninja. He would have all the different actual ninja weapons and stuff. So, and he could
the only
hopefully. He would actually be able to climb up walls, although that'd probably be cheap. That'd be really cool. It'd break the game probably.
Shinobi by Sega is an equally classic ninja, but has less Nintendo heritage, so I'd still have to go Ryu, like you voted, like there. But Shinobi, I don't know who's the first ninja of that one. Shinobi might be first. I bet Shinobi's earlier than I bet for sure in my mind if I had to bet like that Shinobi is an older like video game ninja of like classic heritage, but he was on Sega, so it's like not as likely in the end. So unless they just wanted to be really weird and couldn't get Ryu, so but well, great stuff. Well. If you have some time, hit me up and we'll smash. And any listeners that want to too, I am Unoclay_Switch on Twitter. So rather than just friend code request me, my friend code is in my profile. Like hit me up and explain who you are, because I've got a couple random friend requests and I can't figure out who you are. And sometimes I accept them and sometimes I don't, because I'm not sure if I just necessarily need to fill my friend list with randos that just saw my name online somewhere or whatever. So yeah. Welcome some matches though, especially if you're only average good like me. So average, I would say, like me. So totes.
And you can find me at the Manga Viking on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else. Just follow me on Twitter. It's easier. Then I don't have to say anything else. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions or interested. If you're being a guest, you can message me at the Manga Viking or at Just Another Castle on Twitter. So until next time, leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.